What's going on, guys and gals? This is Auto Tech. So believe it or not, I'm not actually filming this in China. All this pollution and smog and smoke and stuff like that's actually here in Calgary. You know, I mentioned it in another video, like with all the wildfires and stuff like that. But last couple of days, it's actually been the worst that it's been. And around here, they like rate air quality. You know, like 1 being the best, 10 being the worst, and today we are at a 10 plus. So I don't know what the plus means. You know, when it comes to scale systems, they always seem to find a way to just not use them properly. I mean, 10 is the worst, so how do you add a plus on the end of it? Oh well, either way, we shall survive. That's not what today's all about anyways. I mean, the smoke's no new exciting news or anything, so no sense in going on about that. Today's actually going to be a fairly boring day. I am at an awkward mileage on this bike, and it's kind of bugging me. I got a trip coming up in about 3 weeks, but I work next weekend, so that kind of like ruins that. And then like I'll have to do some house stuff, some running around, all sorts of stuff, fun stuff like that. So that pretty well leaves like this weekend, and then like 1 day of another weekend, and then the trips to and from work, and any riding I do after work. But the reason I say I'm at an awkward mileage is the trip that I'm going to be doing is going to be about 3,000 kilometers. So, you know, it's not crazy by any means. But, you know, my oil change is due in 2,000. So, you know, with commuting to and from work and, you know, little trips here and there, like I'm definitely not going to have the mileage to do this trip on this oil change. And then, you know, I don't want to change it like halfway through an interval, because I change my oil every 5,000 kilometers. So I'm kind of like, do I change it 2,000 early, and then like that really screws me up for, you know, future oil changes? Because then it's like at some point, because I like to do it every 5, you know, just so it like looks good on the odometer. And then, so if I was to ride it for the next 2 weeks, put on like another 1,000 kilometers, and then change it, that's 1,000 early. So it's like, all right. And then at some point, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and do a super early oil change, and then get back on my usual routine of every 5,000. But I can't seem to bring myself to do that. I don't know why. But so today we are going to just go get some pointless mileage. I was sitting there and I was like, oh man, maybe I'll go to like Idaho Falls tonight. And I was like, well, damn it, then that puts me over the oil change. And then I was like, well, you know, where could I go? I could go down to like Montana. I was like, no, I should probably like save the money for that trip. Like, I don't need to do an extra hotel night just for the sake of, you know, getting mileage. And then my original plan was, okay, well, I'll just do a day ride. I'll go to like Cranbrook, BC, which is it's like 500 kilometers, and then I'll just have like coffee and lunch or something like that, and then I will turn around and come home. But with all those forest fires right around that area, Kimberley, BC is actually on a like evacuation notice, so they have to have their go bag basically ready to go, and you know, if the sirens go off kind of thing, it's get out of the city. So I was like, well, maybe I won't go there. And then I scratched north off the list, because I mean, I just went to Edmonton 2 weeks ago, so it's like I'm not just going to ride up there, have coffee, and turn around and come back. That's kind of stupid. And then I was thinking south, but then I was like, well, I'm pretty close to the border as it is. So, I mean, I'm not going to just ride 2.5 hours to the American border, turn around and come back. So that leaves east, and that's where we're going. There's a little hole of a city called Medicine Hat, and it's not nice by any means. There's nothing good there, so don't get too excited. I have already made all the turns that I'm going to make for this trip, excluding, you know, turning into gas stations and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a very boring route. You basically just get on Highway 1 East and keep going for about 300 kilometers. And then, yeah, I'll figure I'll grab some coffee or something like that, and then turn around and come home. So, makes for a chill day, I suppose. I mean, it's only 600 kilometers round trip, so that's not too terrible. Somebody's getting in trouble. But the nice thing about that direction on Highway 1 is the speed limit's a little bit higher, so then you factor in some Montana type speeding, and suddenly you're making some pretty good time. So, and that's all that really matters for today, is just logging some miles. So how about for you guys? Do you just change your oil whenever? You don't care, like 2,000 early, who cares, 1,000 early, whatever? Or are you kind of on the same as me, and you like to get your full service out of the oil, and you will do pointless little trips just to try and rack the miles up before you do the oil change, right? You know, so definitely let me know down below. I'm definitely not going to drag this one out too much longer, because I feel I've already droned on long enough about getting miles for an oil change. And this trip is very boring. I mean, as you saw on the map there is not much excitement coming your way. It's not even like heading into the mountains or anything. It's heading into prairie land. So there is no scenery. And with all this smoke, there's definitely going to be no scenery. So make sure you let me know what you guys do down below. And if you enjoyed this one, I promise there are better ones out there. And there's better videos coming. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for taking the time and watching.